Okay.
Joanne, I have to leave and come back in. I can't hear you.
Okay. Wait for her to come back in.
Okay, can I hear you now?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, good. Okay, welcome to our Monday Zoom. Well, I'm going to mute everyone so we can do the TOPS pledges. And when we're done, you can unmute yourself and I'll unmute Erica so she can drive. TOPS pledge. I am an intelligent person. I will control my emotions, not let my emotions control me. Every time I'm tempted to use food to satisfy my frustrated desires, build up my injured ego, or dull my senses, I will remember I will take a concept sensibly. COPS pledge. I am an intelligent person. I will control my emotions, not let my emotions control me. Every time I am tempted to use food to satisfy my frustrated desires, build up my injured ego, or dull my senses, I will remember I am to be an example as I keep off pounds sensibly. If you would unmute yourself. There we go. Today I was going through all my TOPS papers and I found some interesting things from the okay. From like we had TOPS, the old TOPS member guide from 2001, and it's very simplified. And what the feeling I'm getting between my Zooms and talking to the chapters I'm visiting and walking with them, and they're talking with the people I'm walking with, we need to like sort of treat going back to meetings as starting over, because we had this big block, some of us 6 months between meetings. It's like we're a new member again. We need to go to basics, start over, and rethink or restart our journey. Thankfully, I stayed under goal. It's a little struggle now because I was very active before we started the quarantine, and then they said, oh, stay home, stay off the trails. So I stopped being active, and so I'm starting over. Okay, this first one I found is from the then regional director, Judy Pruitt, which she is now a SPA, special programs administrator. I finally remembered what that means. Her newsletter was called The Buzz by Judy. And this is her fall edition. It said, if you always do what you have always done, you will always get what you've always gotten. Mark Twain. Basically, if you don't shake things up, the result's not going to change. Have you heard these words before? Have we been doing the same thing we did last year or the last few years? Do we need something different? Do we need to think outside the box? And I discovered we all need to think outside the box coming back to meetings, because what might have worked in the past, because of all this happening, it's not working now. Fall is in the air. For what a perfect weekend we just had, and we did. So in 2016, they also had perfect weather at this time. Did you go out and enjoy it? Did you get outside and exercise, or just go for a walk? I think I just got spoiled by a couple days of fall weather, and it's getting a little warmer today. With the cooler temperatures, fall rallies, if you have them, most of them have been canceled. What fun. I hope that you have been planning to attend the fall rally, or you have in the past. Why don't you plan on inviting someone you think could be a good prospective member? That has been and this is not what she's reading. In the past, they've done it. If you do, and that's a good idea to invite a prospective member because they can see what all the hype is. There's so many new people there. But you'd have to ask permissions. I don't think I've ever seen guests at any of the fall rallies in the past 5 years. But that's a really good idea. And she was our regional director, so this was allowed. Just not many people take advantage of it. It says just make sure you pay the way and have them register with the the TOPS advocate. Just think your member could get it, your chapter could get a new member, and with new members come new enthusiasm and inspiration. Attend and enjoy your area, what your coordinators and advocates have planned. And Stella, were all your functions canceled in your area?
As far as I know, we don't have much going on, but as far as I know, she does maybe.
Go ahead.
We don't really have a lot, and we have to go to where she is.
Right.
Alleys are in her town, so, but I guess assuming she canceled.
She doesn't vary the locations through.
No.
Wow.
See,
Well,
we had a coordinator one time, and she was shocked when the one before that you had to go up to Amish country to hers, and she went everywhere. Well, she retired because of health reasons, and but this advocate, she just comes once a year, and she has one in her town. But
wow.
Some of our people went once, but I didn't go.
Because I know my coordinator, and even the past coordinator, because we have a large area, we combined 2 areas, the North and South East Pennsylvania, and we would combine them, and we'd have 5 fall rallies and 1 major ARD, but we would change location. Like this year was supposed to be the Poconos. Last year was Reading. This next year is going to be Camp Hill. So we're sharing the wealth around the entire 2 areas. And it's like, that's what it should be. You shouldn't have to go. But other people, some people work differently. But, I mean, yeah, and I agree. I mean, I have no problem. I went to 5 rallies last year because as an advocate, I helped out all of them. Okay. Don't forget to have a fall open house if you're allowed this year. Some chapters are still not open because their locations are not open, or they've such a large chapter that they have to divide the chapter according to the state regulations. If you plan on having one of these, let your coordinator and advocate know so they can help you or attend. Just make sure to give them plenty of notice. I do have one chapter that every fall has an open house. This year, obviously, they had to cancel it because of all the new regulations. But every year, they get new members from it, and they do great. They're a small chapter, but every year they have that open house. Just remember that we come to support each other, lose and keep our pound sensibly. TOPS Club Inc. and the TOPS chapter email lists are not for forwarding, blah, blah, blah. Of course, everything is private. Or sending jokes or personal political views, that has to stay out of TOPS. You can have it outside of the meetings, but you don't post it on, or even weight loss memes. It's like, I see so many from TOPS members. It's like, you don't do that. That's basically fat shaming. We got rid of that. And also there's officers webinars or training videos are on the TOPS in the leaders corner if you can access that. It says, well, this fall letter was just before Barb Katie's £1 Million Challenge came. So it's like, but it applies. We're all walking with Bernie. I have Bernie on all of my backpacks. It says, with the weather breaking, it should be a little cooler to take the first step. In fact, I had to wear my winter hiking gear when I started out hiking yesterday. It was so cold out. Here are some suggestions and facts about walking. It is the inexpensive way and easy on the joints exercise you can do. If you walk 6,000 steps a day, you will improve your overall health. If you walk 10,000 steps a day, you will help yourself to lose weight by burning 400 to 500 calories a day, all depending on your weight. In a week, you will lose 1 pound. It can help you lose 1 pound, but you must also have the portion control for your eating to lose that weight. Walk in a group. Chapters plan 1 day a week to go and walk in your town. I have Tops walks. I have 2 a week, one on Friday and one on Saturday. Set goals and encourage each other. 25% of people who start an exercise program quit the first week, and another 25 within 6 months. Don't be a statistic. If you walk with someone or a group, you will be accountable to someone other than yourself. Like if I plan something for me, I can put it on my schedule, but if it's only me going, I'm not going with anybody else, I'm more likely to cancel if I don't feel like doing it in the morning or not motivated enough. But if with my two Tops walks, Friday and Saturday, I'm in charge of it. I can't not go. I have to be there. I mean, if I don't show up, that's not good because I'm leading the walk. A typical pair of tennis shoes will last 500 miles of walking. So be sure you have a good pair of shoes to walk in. And I've discovered with the hikes this weekend, I had to go buy new hiking shoes. I felt every little stone and rock I stepped on Sunday. It's like, oh, my feet hurt. So I had to go buy new hiking shoes. And I looked at the bottom of my walking shoes. It's like, there's no tread left. I think after 6 years, I have to throw them away. So make sure you take care of your feet because you only have one set. It takes 1 hour and 43 minutes to walk off of 50. He says 50. She has 54 slashes. No, it's a 540 calorie Big Mac. Is it worth it? Walking an 18-hole golf course is about 12,000 steps. It's about 5 miles when you go to a little more than 5 miles to walk the entire 18-hole course. Okay, for the fall, let's think about turning over a new leaf. We need to turn over a new leaf right now to go down the road to success. Have you hit a bump in the road or veered off the road to success? When we're on the road, we must concentrate on what we're doing. We need to concentrate on our weight loss plan. Concentrate on a new leaf. Let's get focused. Focus on eating healthier, portion control, moderation, not deprivation, getting more exercise, planning out our meals. I'm not good at that one. And one of the most important things is to get enough sleep. Who here gets enough sleep? Not me. Nope. So we're all in agreement we don't get enough sleep. When you're focused, losing weight will happen automatically. Just remember, as the author of the Adventures of Tom Sawyer said, if you always do what you've always done, you will always get what you've always gotten. All you have to do is to believe. Then you can achieve. 90% of our weight loss is, or lifestyle change is mental. If you can convince you can't do it, you won't. And if you're convinced you can, you will. Okay, and is your chapter what you think it should be? If not, get involved. May 1st is the earliest we can now do elections. It takes everyone working together and helping ourselves. Ask yourself, how can my chapter improve and how will I help it to improve? She said, let's focus on the things that make our chapters great. Accountability and privacy skills. We meet on our back, on my back patio. So ours is I can't have my assistant there because just too close. So it's hard. We do have privacy scale, but since we only have we have like six or seven people, so they come in staggered. So we're lucky to nobody else is there when they're weighing in. But the privacy scale is very important. I have one chapter when they were in their regular meeting place, they were weighing it in the same room, and they would speak aloud what's on the scale because they did an honor system. The weight recorder was on a table, and about 6 feet from them was the scale. The weight recorder could not see the scale, the digital readout. So it's like, yeah, no, there is no privacy on those weigh-ins, so they had to change. Okay, challenge yourself to do something different this month, something that pushes you a bit further than you've gone before. If you haven't exercised in years, try it. You might like it. The tops walks I'm having people are starting to walk again. They haven't walked in quite a while, so they're walking again. If you haven't planned your meals before, try it. Your wallet will love it, and you'll also buy less junk food because you have a list. And if you haven't gotten enough sleep lately, try it. Your family might like it. Yeah, it might improve our moods, and you will feel and look better. And that was from Judy Pruitt, 2016, her fall newsletter. What do you guys think about it? Do you guys do open houses? Or have you ever done open houses?
I think we had two. Nobody usually comes. One
Well,
time
you
we
gotta
did.
advertise it.
Well, I think we did, but we did do one year. We invited all the past members that had quit coming, and we did pick up a few of those. And then since then, some of those have quit, but we did get some back. But
yeah, we've done it in the 5 years I was at my previous chapter. We did when we combined it with our summer picnic and invited a bunch of past members. And I mean, some of them, the past members, they died. Obviously, we can't invite them. But I think we had two couples that came, and they didn't join back up, but we caught up and saw how they were doing. But you just got to keep trying. Let me unmute her. Erica, has your chapter ever had an open house?
We had a few, but we never got anybody. Where we get our new members, they're from health fairs.
Right.
And like I said, I know there's one hospital that's going to do one, but again, it's social distancing and wearing masks. But I think we're going to try and maybe not so much be a vendor there, but just make our presence with our T-shirts.
Right.
Because I'm a fanatic for the T-shirt. I got to have a new T-shirt for everything.
Yeah. Well, we're starting that with the T-shirts.
Yeah. So we're going to go as a group and just kind of meander around, and then it's like it says weight loss on it, so we're hoping that they'll ask about it. We'll have our little business cards with us, and kind of like scope out the neighborhood without being in the neighborhood.
Yeah, we had a go ahead.
So it's like because we're not meeting in our normal way,
right?
Our fundraising is not where it was a year ago. We want to try to conserve whatever we have just in case. So, it's just, let's do it the cheap way.
Yeah, obviously. I had a chapter, one of our chapters leader emailed me this weekend. She wanted a bunch more day ones because their local Weight Watchers meeting group stopped. They're not meeting anymore, and they're all coming to Tops. Yeah. But I mean, did you guys, when you had your open house, did you ever put anything in the newspaper or flyers out or anything or did you just invite past members?
We put it in the paper, but like I said, nothing happened.
Yeah.
We get more response, Joanne, when we put a press release out about like when we had, she's passed away now, but we had a member that had been in Tops for over 50 years.
Wow.
So, I don't know. I do press releases. I put pictures. Like I told you, T-shirts and pictures. I want them. Like when we did the Diabetes Day, we all had our blue shirts on, and it just so happened the lady that passed away, she was like right in the center. So it acknowledged Diabetes Day, and it acknowledged how long she'd been in Tops.
Yeah.
So.
I found that in my area, I haven't seen many of my chapters use the press release. I mean, on the website, there are pre-made press releases. You just got to insert your correct information and it works. But who do you send it to? The editorial staff or what?
In two of them, they have like a community division or department. We send it there, and then they usually forward it to whoever. But ours is always like, it'll tell you what's going on in the different cities, like West Covina, Pomona. It just lists different cities, and then it'll go there. But if it's a press release where it's kind of lengthy, then it'll go into, it's not the front page, but it's more in the community section.
Right. So, I had the most recent one of my chapters did a press release where they celebrated the 45th year as a chapter, and it went out. So, and they say it did appear in the Shippensburg paper, so it works. They do print them. Okay.
Somebody had said something about going and reaching out to past members. I did that this weekend. I went through my phone and my contacts, because I put everybody in my phone, and I just told them I was thinking about them, and how they were doing, and a few of them, they text back, go, "Oh, what are you guys up to? Are you meeting?" Yes, we are meeting. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have a few people show up on Saturday.
Yeah, hopefully. So the next one I found was the members. This is from 2001. It was the new members guide, and these days there is no new members guide. It's just there is not. It's called "How Do You Measure Success?" Let me see. It's this one. You guys might have seen it if you've been. Were you guys members in 2001?
Nope.
So Stella, you've seen, but
I don't remember it. I probably saw it, but I don't remember it. But I was in 2000.
Right. And reading through this, it's very appropriate. And like I said, it seems to me we need to go back to the beginning, basically figure out why we joined Tops. And this will help you. It's like this take off with Tops, and it's a big kite. Welcome to Tops. From this moment on, we will support you and guide you. How many chapters here support you and guide the members? I hate to say it, but I've seen several chapters in my area that basically are now social groups. They don't use Tops stuff, and they're a social group. They're not a support group anymore. They're not interested in the weight loss. They're just interested in getting together, and that's kind of sad. Thankfully, it's not the norm. Thankfully. Tops is a weight loss support group. Set your imagination free. Bask in the warm sunshine of success. You've already taken the first step. We've decided to change the air. Visualize yourself at your goal and try to keep that image before you. Think of a kite soaring high. Can you see the blue sky? Hear the birds sing. Feel the warm grass below. Positive feelings are what you want to, or where you want to be, will help you reach your goal. Let go of yesterday, let go of the previous failures, grab the kite string and get ready to take off. Perfect analogy, perfect. Past is past. Every day is a new day. If you messed up with your portion control, like yesterday, I had like 2,300, but I also hiked 5 miles. But today I know I have to get the eating under control. I might feel hungry, but I know it's a day of rest because I've had 4 hikes and walks this weekend. My body needs rest. My feet are killing me. So I need to know, I need to stay on track with my exchanges, or even just counting the calories, stay on track, because, you know, my goal number is here, and I'm just a little below it these days because of not as active. This weekend I was, but gotta stay under. I want to stay in that 7 pounds. Okay. What can I expect? What when I know when I first came in, this I was given this. Did I read it? No. And that was, so 5 years later, I am reading this. What can you expect? Count on your TOPS pals to fill in the gaps as you attend each weekly meeting. And I think maybe I missed 1 or 2 the first couple of years. That's it. You were supposed to get a member's handbook. Never given a member's handbook. I have no idea what it would have looked like. And then the TOPS magazine. This magazine is filled with weight loss tips, the latest nutrition information, motivation stories of TOPS members around the world, and recipes you can use in your own kitchen. Has anyone ever, Erica, when did you start TOPS? What year? What year?
2013.
Okay. So you might have seen, were you ever given a new a member handbook from TOPS? You were supposed to get, as of 2001, a member's handbook and a membership card.
I got the membership card. I got my day 1. They gave me one of those, like the journal, gave me a journal, took my picture. And then at that time, before they had the new member person that sits with you, they were already doing that. Somebody sat with me that first day.
Nice.
And then told me, you know, the leader came over and said, you know, I don't even remember who the person was, but she's going to sit with you, write down any questions you have, and then the 2 of us will go over all your questions. And then what we do is when we have a visitor that's checking out the first meeting, we all save our TOPS news and we give them one that night.
Nice. See, so, that's the way it should be.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we do.
That's the way it should be. No, that never happened when I was a member. But, or even when my daughter started. But most of my chapters have new member coaches, and they do it, but not everybody. That is the purpose. I mean, if you just get into a meeting, you can get lost so easily if you don't have a guide.
Well, I mean, we use a lot of acronyms too that they have no idea. You know, it's like the COPS and the TOPS and turtles and you know, turtle. What's a turtle?
Yeah, I know, but it's like, but if you don't have that guide, more likely than not, you're not creating a long-term member, because if they get so frustrated, you know, like you said, the acronyms, and just get so lost, why, I mean, if I felt like that way and lost and stuff, why would I want to stay? Why do I want to go back for more of the same thing? You know, that's
no motivation, huh?
Yeah, motivation to stay.
Well, no, that it's overwhelming for them.
Very overwhelming. But I mean, when I first joined, it was a large chapter, but I got a little lost. I mean, but I was determined. It had in my mind, I was determined to stay. I was not going to quit. It just, that's not in my makeup, that I wasn't going to quit. But it's like, I can see people get so frustrated the first couple meetings and not come back.
Yeah.
You know.
Also, Joanne, what we do is, like, if we have a visitor, like some visitors will just come and they go, oh, we just want to watch, you know, we just want to watch. And then, you know, we always invite them to fill out like a little visitor, we it's a paper, not a card, but
right.
their name, their address, their phone number, why did you come to the meeting? And then at that time we were having meetings on Thursday night.
Right.
So it was usually our secretary would call on Monday night just to check up on them. Not to say, oh, we hope to see you on Thursday.
Right.
Just after you leave the meeting, you come up with more questions.
Right.
So the Monday call is mainly to answer the questions they have then. And usually, I mean, if I ever had a member or somebody quit shortly after joining, you can see it right away.
Yes.
If that person joins, you can see it right away. And so I'll try to extra focus on them for a little while. But if I see somebody that's just discouraged because they're not losing weight, oh, I'm going to quit. No, you're not.
Yeah.
I'll call them up, and I'm sorry. I'll just give them a razzing, and it's like, why are you letting this defeat?
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're not quitting. I'm not letting you.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's also the importance of TOPS pals. Even being long-term members, if you don't like, that was the hardest problem with being shut down. A lot of chapters just quit the support with each other.
Down too. Yeah.
But I mean, you shut down, but doesn't mean your phone's broken or your email's broken. You can still keep in contact and still have a support group, but virtual.
Yeah. Like I said, I mentioned before, Joanne, what you say to me on Monday, I kind of summarize and I pass on to my members when I get in the driveway of where I work, and I am texting them right away. So it's good. Like they're not here, but they get the information.
Right. That's just the purpose. I mean, you like you said, you are meeting, but sometimes it's even in the chapter manual. If you need like a new meeting, think of yourselves as Ovaries Anonymous, an anonymous group or whatever. And sometimes you just need another meeting that week. That's what we're here for. You can go to another chapter if you feel you need another meeting, just as long as you pay their weekly dues, you can stay for the meeting. You just can't have another weigh-in because it's got to be 7 days apart.
Right. And you can't join more than one.
No. Well, I mean, the snowbirds do, but they're traveling, that's allowed. But you can only.
Aren't they on a travel?
Right. They have a travel weight chart.
Right.
And then they bring it all up with them when they come back.
So they're just attending a different chapter. They're not a member of that chapter.
Right. They still pay the dues. I mean, there are a lot of basically summer chapters that are, chapters that when the travelers aren't there, they're very small until people coming from up north join them. But I mean, they still participate and pay their dues, but they're officially part of the northern chapter, which is good. Stella, do you guys have a new member coach, or did you have one when you joined?
No, we do have new member packets. We don't get very many new members.
Right.
We might get one. We might almost have one.
Yeah.
But we have a new member packet, and we explain as we go along what we're doing because we're a small group.
That's good.
To do that.
Yeah.
We had one member join. She had visited and she came back on our last meeting in March. So she was new, and we had 3 meetings now, and I missed the middle one. So if she wasn't there, she hadn't been back to any yet. So, but since she had joined, we just shut down. But we explain as we go along what we're doing.
That's good. Yeah. Smaller groups are different. One of the officers does it. Mostly, sometimes just the co-leader, because basically the co-leader's job description is do whatever is delegated to them. No set description. Okay. So now it says, what should I do now? At TOPS, we encourage you to make changes slowly and steadily, which works. I mean, we've had people lose I think it was 100 pounds in less than a year. And on her 1 year point, she lost 101 pounds. I'm thinking, it's like, is she going to be able to keep that off? Because that's kind of fast. So slow and steady is healthier. Learn a little and practice, then move on to your next level of commitment. Research shows that small permanent changes in your lifestyle are much better than short bursts of dramatic weight loss, which is also not as healthy. The weekly weight loss of 1/2 to 2 pounds is considered ideal, as long as your doctor agrees with that. Everyone's body is different though, so you'll see larger and smaller losses in your group. And as always, check with your doctor and what is a good weight loss increment for you, for your body. Everybody is different. Okay, so what happens at meetings? Meetings allow time to share weight loss success and challenges in a supportive atmosphere. And as always, fat shaming is done. Should not ever happen in any group. Regular attendance will keep your spirits high. It's the best place to be, whether you have a hard time or enjoying your progress. Your fellow members extend the reassuring hand of friendship to you at each meeting. If something prevents you from attending a meeting, just call your leader or any other member and let them know. And it says, of course, as it still is, for excused absences leave you ineligible for awards. Absences are different from excused. Think real hard before ever putting absent on any weight chart. It's just, yeah. I mean, I have yet to see any instance where we would have put absent on a weight chart. It's always excused. At this point, it's, they call you or you know what's going on with them, it's excused. Or if they have medical excuse, what?
We had one situation where the member got upset. She refused to weigh in. Like she wouldn't weigh in. You're absent.
Yes, exactly. If they refuse to weigh in, they are absent. And they cannot participate. They have to just sit back and be quiet.
Yeah, she
cannot participate at all.
And I'm going, it's like you're not here.
Right.
Your waiting is like you're saying here.
Right.
Like
that is basically checking in.
Right. That's why I said she got really upset. She didn't quit, but she was very upset that day.
Yeah, that is an absence. If they refuse, and it's even in the book, if you do not weigh in, you are marked and you're there, you are marked absent, like you're never there.
Right.
That is the only one I would consider doing that. Unless, I mean, if they have 9 not showing up and you put them as excused, you consider it's like, are we still going to be doing, as excused, or are we going to start doing absent? At that point, after 9 meetings,
you have to have a reason.
You got to have a reason.
Yeah.
We're more lenient these days because of the health situation in the country. Okay, what happens at roll call? What do you guys do when you do roll call? I've seen several different things.
Well, when we do roll call, Joanne, it's just mainly like, we don't do it exactly like this now, but we have like a little can. And then, as I mentioned before, the money that goes in the can is not a fine. It's the money that goes toward our Christmas dinner. So it's
it's a donation.
We'll pass it around. Right. We'll pass it around. And all you say is, usually they'll say this, I gained a little bit, or I lost a little bit. And, and then, if they turtle. And then pass the can on to the next person. And if they gained, then yes, they put money in the jar. But it's not a fine because you gained. It's just, that's the reason that we put the money. Because you'll have people that lost and put money in the can.
Yeah.
So it's
less they have to fork over for the party.
Yeah, it's like, well, if you don't put money in, then you're going to pay more than the rest of us.
Yeah.
So it's, it's not fat shaming, or we don't look at it as fat shaming because we know the reason we're putting the money in.
Right. You're supporting it's your fundraiser for your Christmas party.
Right.
Yeah. But at this, if your reasoning behind not doing fundraisers is because the fines cover everything, that's I mean, if you have enough, let me put this, I'm trying to think of the way my coordinator put it. If you have enough money in the treasurer because of weight fines that you don't have to do fundraisers, it's not working. Because there's no input, there's no motivation to start losing weight. Because, oh, I got $2, not a problem.
Right.
Yeah. But there are those that I haven't seen in many instances of fat shaming in chapters anymore. Some of them still do fines, though, even though it says fines are not what TOPS is about. But I mean, we even had a chapter that they had to pay a quarter to weigh in. It's like, no. Yeah. Why? Oh, we've always done it that way. Really? But like Mark Twain said, if you always do it one way, you're always going to get the same results. But yeah. So what you Stella, what do you guys do at your for roll call?
We just announce if we've lost, gained, or in leeway, or I believe that's it, or turtled.
Well, with our small group, we just do the weight report because I mean, we're at like 4 or 5 people at the meeting at this point. It's like we all know. We all know. But I had one chapter, and I love this idea. They passed around a cowbell that they had TOPS on it, I guess, from a fall rally way before. And they passed it, and if they lost or turtled, they rang the bell. They celebrated every single weight loss, and it was awesome. And they also were first place for weight loss per member for Pennsylvania for 2019. So it works. They celebrated everything. Okay. Your Stella and Erica, your 2 chapters, do you guys use TOPS resources for programs?
Yes. I'm not going to say every time, but okay, what I do at the beginning of the year, and it's like, luckily January we were okay, and I say, give me 25 things that you would like to discuss as a group. Now I don't always get the 25, but they'll write, and then there's duplications. So we basically look at what they said, and then we go to like the website. I go, because like I said, I am a member of a lot of TOPS groups on Facebook. So you're getting constant ideas from them.
Right.
And then somebody will say, and then you go research it.
Right.
Now, if I can't find that topic on the website, then I'll go out, and I'll try to find a reputable thing. But I always tell them, if you have any questions, go research it. I'm just opening the door for what you think. You wanted to know something. Here's what I found. If you need more information, and anything that I tell them, Joanne, it's like I am not promoting. Like there was a conversation on the intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
I'll give you the information I found, but anything I tell you, don't think I'm promoting it. And if I tell you something that I'm personally doing, I'm not saying, here, everybody do this.
Right. And TOPS has chimed in about that, but they're doing more. They said right out they need to do more research because they do their own research. That's why all this stuff, there's just so much stuff on the website because they do their own research.
Right. So it's like intermittent fasting, keto, and it's like, here's what I found. Now, you go do your own research because I don't promote anything. If I do it personally, it's because I'm okay with it.
Right. Right. And
even if it's not even if it's not what I'm not saying I would do something wrong, but if I choose to do something, it's me. I'm okay with it. Even if it's bad.
Right.
I'm okay with it.
Right.
But I'm not telling you, the other 21 members, you need to do it too.
Right. Right.
Because like I tell them, like when we were talking about new members, they'll come in and they'll go, oh, can I join Weight Watchers? Can I do this? Can I do that? Yes, you can do all of those in conjunction. We're not going to tell you exactly what to eat.
Right. We just give you the tools.
Exactly. Well, it's like we'll give you research on how many calories are in fat, how many calories are in protein. But you know what? That's across the board. We're not, all we're doing is supporting you. Or if you come in, and I'm just saying, it's like we had one lady come in, and it's the big debate in our group. How much water should you drink? It's the big debate. I don't care if I said, okay, you need to drink 8-ounce glasses every day. Somebody will come in and say, no, it's half your body. Well, I can't drink that much because I'm on medicine. Drink what you're allowed to drink.
Yep. And the consensus is, what does your pee look like?
Yeah, exactly.
If it stinks, drink more water.
Yeah. Well, my thing is like, because this is an ongoing thing. I promise you, Joanne, we can have this discussion 25 times, and it's always going to be a debate. So one day I'm going to say the pee chart, if your water is so clear you can't tell you went, stop drinking water.
Yep.
If you're, I'm going to say, if your pee looks like orange juice, the dark kind, you better go get you 4 or 5 glasses of water. But it was color, I did it in color. And I go, okay, you see this? This tells you how much water you need to drink.
Yep.
We're not going to talk about 64 ounces anymore. We're not going to talk about 100 ounces or half your body weight.
Yep.
Because we had one lady, she was really, on the heavy side. She goes, I can't drink 150 ounces of water.
Way too much.
And, well, that's what I told her. I said, okay, so the half your body weight's not going to fit for you.
Yeah.
But somebody like me, it is not out of the norm to drink 100 ounces of water.
Mm-hmm. I wish I could. That. I don't.
Well, I mean, just, like I said, when my mother was alive and we were in the same chapter, there's no way my mother could even drink 64 ounces because she has bad kidneys.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You have to, you do what is comfortable, but do what you can medically do. If you can't drink that much water, don't drink that much water.
Yep. Absolutely. Stella, do you guys do TOPS resources for programs?
Not very often.
What do you do for programs then?
Just odds and ends of things. Whatever, wherever we find something, an article or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And on my chapter, we use the program outlines from the top news for the month. We use those. A couple things. I mean, their 1 week was Fashionista. It's like we're totally not into that. So we did something else from the TOPS magazine. But I started this chapter, the premise was we would use only TOPS resources. And so far we're doing good. Which is basically, I mean, you pay for the membership, why aren't you using TOPS resources?
Yeah, use it, yeah. The only thing we don't do, Joanne, is the contests. Everybody in our group says we are not kindergartners, and it's so, like I said, they go, no, I'll present it. No, no, we're not doing it.
We do contests label, but we use it as weekly SMART goals. We use it as a basis for, and if you don't do it, that's fine. But it's basically like the one week is for Hop to Health. It's like 3 days a week, increase your vegetables, or 3 days a week, or journal 1 day a week, or 5 days a week, call your TOPS pals. We just use it as a basis for goals for the week. And that's it. We did 2 currently. One with the badges was from a program from Live Your Life Better Together. It's like with TOPS, basically badge buddies, they called it. It's basically to challenge ourselves to, like, for the skinny fridge, get rid of all the crap in your refrigerator. And it wasn't so much a contest as using it for little mini goals towards the week.
Right.
And we have badges or certificates, but we're not going to give out prizes or anything. It's like, yeah, we're not kindergartners. We use it
Right.
to give ourselves some goals to work with. We're doing the Fall to Fitness starting this week, last Saturday. And it's like, basically, a way I explained it, because my daughter's like, well, because we did our old chapter and we did it for a week. It's like, it's not realistic. So I read all this. It's like for the new exercise group or learn. I said, YouTube's your friend. You're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to go to the gym because you don't want to higher risk. You know, if your family living with you is higher risk, you don't go to the gym. It's like, it basically wants you to think outside the box. Try something new. I mean, you can you can hike every week, but they want you to try 10 things new in the next month. And that's it. And it's not like you're going to get a prize. You'll get a certificate saying you've tried it. You know, I mean, not everybody can do, Zumba. It's like, I'm not coordinated. I can't do Zumba. I'll be falling on my face. I'm not that coordinated, just they want you to try something new. That's all. And you see it, maybe you'll like it. Or, I mean, yoga, my body doesn't bend that way. I've tried it. My body does not bend that way. So it just wants you to, it's just something to get us to think outside the box or get out of our comfort zone regarding exercise. Because, I mean, personally, I just do cardio. I walk, I bike ride, I hike, but I don't do any resistance exercise. I don't do any strength exercises, and I need to. And this will get me outside of my comfort zone and actually do it. So we're using it as basically a SMART goal for the week.
Somebody, like, I don't know, it's like, I want to do research on it, but she was saying, like, okay, like, I'm just saying, when we're our age, right, we have to think about bone density, we have to think about muscle mass, but she says that, and she's into Chinese medicine, okay, and she's going to do a discussion, and it's called, what did she call it? Heel drops, okay. And she goes, what you do is you start out holding on to something for balance.
Right.
You get up on your, on your toes, but then you just let your body drop. So it's like walking, when you're walking and the weight of your body hits the sidewalk every time. So when you go up on your toes, you just kind of let your body drop. And she goes, you do this like 100 times. Okay. The impact of your body, like hitting is like walking. Because, you do the heel toe walk.
Right.
Okay. So it's a simulation of your heel hitting the sidewalk without the actual step of a movement forward. So what she's saying is, as the body does this, right, it causes like a chain reaction in your body that with the going up and down is the simulation of kind of like walking without walking.
Right.
Then after you get where you feel comfortable, then you start taking the balance part away, where you're holding on to something.
Right.
And put your arms out to your side and do it. So she's going to come in, but I thought it was kind of like, I did it a little bit today when I was making coffee. And I'm going, how do I say, I felt energized, because I had just gotten up and I was making coffee and whatever.
Right.
And then I don't know whether it was psychologically, but it was like, it put a little bit of a bounce in my step or whatever. So I don't know. But she's going to come in with the whole program, because I think all of us in my group, regardless of how old you are, can do a heel drop.
Nice.
So I don't know. So I'm going to look into it, but
see if she'll let you record it and put it on a Tops page, because that interesting. It's not like it's just something, because I can see two advantages. One, you're stretching out your hamstrings and your calves. You're stretching those muscles out, so you're burning energy to do that. But for someone who has poor balance, me, once I keep my hands off the chair, it'll help me restore my balance, because my balance is very bad.
Right. so that's what I'm saying. She goes, don't nobody, you know, she goes, you're not going to do this just all of a sudden. You're going to hold on to something and do it. And then, like she says, and then we're you know, you'll learn to do the technique. And then she goes, after you feel comfortable where you're not feeling like you're wobbling, she goes, then you'll get to the point where you put your hands out to the side, you know, like you're flying, and do it. And that then you're doing, you know, there's some core work because you're balancing, and then you're still doing the heel drop. So like I said, she's going to come in and do a discussion, and I'm going to read up on it before she does her discussion, so I can have some questions.
I'd be interested in seeing what she does, even if you just send it to me private. If she lets you, if all the chapter members are okay with you recording it.
Oh yeah, okay.
That sounds really, really good.
Okay.
Especially with me is balance challenge, anything. Because you know.
That's what I'm saying. So, you know, and like I said, when we go outside the box of tops, it's stuff like that. Somebody will come in with a topic, conversation, and then we just kind of like, oh, that. You know,
she's basically a guest. She's basically a guest speaker. Make sure you give her. There's a thing for in the new certificates regarding thanks for speaking or whatever. Thanks for that. But we're allowed to have guest speakers, dietitians, doctors, physical therapists, nutritionists, exercise people. We had refit in our one chapter, but just make sure you have the walking waiver.
Oh yeah, everybody. We file those at the beginning of the year. It's part of when we come in January, we get a new walking certificate. We a medical sheet, you know, because you know all our members are older. They take medication. They diabetic. Whatever. So we get them to fill out a medical form and emergency contact, which is part of the medical form. What else do we get?
Now, where do you get the medical forms? Because I've never heard of that.
No, we it's something we made up. It's just basically, you know, it's like if you're, and these forms stay with the weight recorder. We treat them like the weight.
Privacy.
So,
HIPAA.
right. So basically, it just, if you're on like we're just saying like this, okay, being that we're all older, if something were to happen to you here, we have no clue what to tell a paramedic. Because I'm pretty sure the fire station right across the parking lot, they're going to get here before your contact is going to get here.
Right.
Okay. So
that sounds like a good idea.
You know, so it's basically, if you're on any medications, list them. If you're diabetic, list it, you know, so that if that were to happen, here, this is their paper. Right. We don't have to try to remember or guess or, you know, frantically try to call someone. So that's why I said, so it's the medical thing, it's the walking waiver, the medical, your emergency contact, which is different. It's part of the medical thing, but it's two separate sheets of paper. Okay, because it's just, you know, it's like, it's not a medical situation, but say, for example, their ride doesn't show up. Right. Who do we call? Right. Okay, so like I said, so those are the things, and then I retake everyone's picture. That's my January.
That's good. That is a good thing. Okay, it says now what after I lose weight, it goes on about COPS. And then what it says about COPS. Well, I'll read that because it's I've never seen it described that way. When you reach your goal weight, you become a COPS, and it's not automatic. And that isn't even, it is even in the new members manual. It is not automatic. You don't automatically become COPS. You have to elect to become COPS. Right. It stands for Keep Pounds Off Sensibly. Our COPS are an important part of our organization. We have 3 COPS of 7 members in my chapter. We honor them accordingly. We realize that staying at goal weight can be a challenge, so meetings provide information and support for members at this level too, which we do. We use the outline from TOPS News. Because COPS stay involved in their chapters, they can help new members like yourself. They understand how you feel. And that's a good person to have be a new member coach, is a COPS. Yeah. That is, you know, if you have them, that's a good task for them. Many COPS will tell you that your weight loss at TOPS was measurable, but what they gain as a person has been immeasurable. This dedication can help others in what into helping others is what makes TOPS special. Now, what should I eat? That is, this one, of course, says it's my choice. That's been replaced. It tells you about, one, consult your doctor if you can go on a diet, and to set your goal weight. And it's basically, it says the choice of yours is a thing. It still is your choice. You do what works for you, whether you follow Exchange Plan, My Plate, Canadian Food Plan, anything, whatever works.
Make sure it's healthy.
Right.
That's all I say. Is like,
and
I don't, nobody cares what you're doing. Just do it the healthy way. We're good.
Yeah. Yeah, and it says the exchange, and it says with doctor's permission and any necessary adjustments for your diet. I don't like it says exchange diet, because it's not. It's exchange system. To me, it's a lifestyle, exchange lifestyle, because we don't do diets. We just give you the tools to figure out what works for you. And it says about exercises, of course, doctor permits that. If you're on the larger side, you want to talk to the doctor. Even my size, before I start going gung ho, really, I talk to my doctor, or in this case, a nurse practitioner, and she said, "You're fine. There's nothing to be concerned about. You can do what I was doing." And it says, it also says, ask your leader whether your chapter participates or how you can get involved in another chapter's walking program. Walking programs are good. My chapter that I started with did not have any kind of walking program at all. They did summer challenges because the coordinator did summer challenges, but they didn't have any. So I think in 2018 I started the Steps Challenge. Not all the chapter members did it, but the 10 of us that did, we competed who would have the most steps, most miles for the year. But I know some chapters you have to hand in your exercise log, your food journal. That's okay, but what's the challenge? So you got to fill it out. What are you competing against? What's your motivation to do more every week?
Right.
The challenges for most people are important. Some people don't like to be challenged. That's it. It doesn't work for them. They don't do it.
Well, no,
whatever works.
Stressful for them. Yeah.
Right. Some people think when I had people transfer into my chapter, it's like, do we need to hand in our food journals? It's like, does that work for you? No. It's like, then why do it? She still keeps track of it, but she's not, and she's accountable to herself. And because she wants to get cops again, but you don't need to hand in a journal. I'm not your teacher.
Right.
You're not going to get credit. You can food journal because it works for you. And if your mind's not convinced it works for you, it's not going to work. But she still writes down everything she eats. She still does journal, but she's not going to hand in a piece of paper for homework. I don't do homework. I just don't do homework.
Like I said, I have one lady that if I put a food journal challenge out there, and it's not like all the time, it'll be part of like a contest or something.
Right.
That girl will lose weight like there's no tomorrow.
Right.
Right. But then I have another lady that's the complete opposite. She finds it so stressful that if I have I can almost tell you she just finally said, I'm not doing these challenges anymore. Every time I do this, I gain weight.
Right. Because she's nitpicked. She's watching her food too closely. She's thinking about is food.
She says it stresses me out so bad.
Yes.
I go, well, okay,
I'll do most of my chapter does My Fitness Pal. To record the food. Some of them do write it down, and I have one that's accountable to her life coach through her insurance company that she has to take pictures of all her food, and it works for her. But there's many TOPS tools, but if one TOPS tool causes you so much stress, give it a rest. Come back to it maybe in a week. If it still causes you too much stress, give it a rest. It doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you
My
can,
thing-
if your mindset to the point where you know your portions and you know exactly what you need to eat, that's your journal in your head.
Right.
Journaling can be stressful. Yeah, I know. I keep too many journals. So some of them I gotta find them, but
Yeah.
but
My method of journaling is opposite. I pre-write my stuff. It's like in the morning or like say the night before. And this is when I'm good with my journaling. I'm not
right.
what you say every day. The night before I plan the next day, I write everything down. And then as I eat it or drink it or whatever, I tick it off. I check it off. Because if I was to do it as I went along, I'd never journal. Never.
I'm going to try to do that because I'm bad about it. I'm bad
the
about
thing is that your mindset. My thing is this: is that as you journal, as you eat, okay. I find, and this is for me, I find that when you know you haven't eaten something or you've eaten something that you know you shouldn't, are you really that anxious to write it down?
Yeah, you're gonna lie to
Me,
yourself.
It's write it down and it's real.
Yep.
So, and then, it's like, I don't know. It's just, I don't like it. It gets all like messy. It's like you say, okay, for breakfast, you say, I'm going to have eggs, toast, milk, or whatever. It's all really nice, neat, compact.
Yeah.
But then you actually do it, and then you're writing out in the margins, and you're sad facing. And then for me, when I look at the whole page, I find that page overwhelming.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like if I go, okay, the night before, your mind is in a good place. It's like, okay, so breakfast is going to be 2 eggs and a piece of raisin toast. Lunch, like I said, I'm not promoting it. It works for me. It's simple. It's easy. I have a slim fast, and I have my Quaker oat rice cakes and a diet soda. That's my lunch. That works for me.
Yeah.
I want something quick and simple. I have 30 minutes for lunch. I don't want to plan on preparing it and then have to wolf it down.
Yep.
So
exactly.
And then dinner, like I said, it's not cold in California. So okay. But for some reason I'm on a soup thing. And my soup is more like a broth soup. So I have my low sodium bouillon, right? Low sodium bouillon. I have my green beans. Yes, they're in a can. I rinse them. I chop them up, put them in there. Then, usually it's fish or shrimp or chicken as my meat. And then I don't know if you guys know what it's pasta, but it's little bitty ones. It's like letters and little shells.
The kid size ones.
Yeah, the kid size. And then I'll put a half a bag of that. Now this makes a big pot, and that will last me all week.
Nice.
So, but then I write it
It's
down.
got to be the time of the year. Everybody wants soup because it's fall, no matter where you are.
Yeah, and it's filling. So it's like, okay, I'm going to do this for a while. Yeah. But, I'll make my pot tonight, and then I'll have it for the rest of the week.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all written down already. I have it all written down. And then, okay, I had my egg, check mark. Toast, check mark. Coffee, check mark. And then I got my Slim Fast, my rice cakes, my diet soda, and then my soup. And then, like I said, I have some leftover sherbet.
Mm-hmm.
Got my little container, and that's my little treat tonight. Cool. And then, like just check it off.
What do you do, Stella?
Lately, I was just kind of winging it before, and plus dinner, breakfast and lunch is pretty simple and usually the same thing. But dinner, I have to take my husband into consideration.
Yeah.
You too. But last week, 4 days, I counted calories, and I don't like counting calories, but I lost weight. Actually, I lost too much. So I got to bump the calories up. But I guess when you get used to, years ago, I did count calories, and then I'm still in Weight Watchers, but I don't do it. But I think I will go back to doing calories, but I got to bump them up a little. Because I was out of leeway 1 week on the bottom side, but I got back in last week.
Good.
So
good. Yeah, I mean, I do. I do the exchange, the exchanges, but I also count calories. That the exchanges keeps me honest to make sure I get my veggies in, because it's not my go-to food. It really isn't, because after a while I feel like I'm gonna be a rabbit because I'm eating so much greens. But I do both, because the exchange reminds me I need to have not just fats and starches and meats. Gotta have those fruits and veggies too. So I do both. But whichever works for you, and it works for me, because I know because I know that if I do, like this weekend was really hard and I did a lot of hiking, I'm gonna I'm gonna have to up those exchanges big time. So it's much easier to just up the calories than try to figure out what exchanges I need. And then it said, I found an old brochure called "How Do You Remember to Measure Success?" This was in my new members packet when I joined. And in one of the things, and I did post a picture of it, it says, how do you measure success? And they have a list: pounds lost, inches reduced. Anybody, any chapters here do measuring?
First of the year.
Yeah, my daughter, we do the My Real Progress book, and it has a thing for like every month you measure. But we had a couple new members that measured themselves and handed it in when they joined, because that's what they wanted to concentrate on besides the scale. And it worked for them. And then it says improved health, control gained, which is the portion control, friends found, and dreams realized. And and I did post that picture. Anything else you guys want to discuss, or any non-scale victories this week?
I just wanted to let you guys know what I did as a discussion this past Saturday, because I told you not this Saturday, but the Saturday before was our first what we call sit-down meeting.
Right.
So last week I texted all my members and I asked them, I said, I need you to bring a piece of fruit or vegetable or a healthy snack to the meeting. So I think there was just a couple that either forgot or whatever, but everybody brought something. And so when we went around and I said, okay, so what did you bring? And, it's like, okay, I brought an apple. And I go, okay, first thing is, why did you buy that apple? Okay. And then, they'll tell you, it's like, I like apples. They're filling. They're easy to eat. They're easy to prepare. Okay. So there's an apple. Okay. So then we go, and then there was a banana. And it's like, why did you buy that banana? And the first one said, well, I need the potassium, and this is the easy way to get it. And then she says, but I only eat half of it. So for me, that was the educational part. It's potassium. You don't eat a whole banana, especially a banana that's about 8 inches long.
Yeah.
So she goes, I cut it in half and I use it for 2 smoothies. So, okay. So then we have grapes. I go, why did you buy those grapes? And she'll tell you. And I go, do you take the skin off that grape? No. I go, then she kind of looked at me and go, do you know why I asked? Because my husband won't eat the skin. He'll peel that off and eat the inside. So we went around the room and everybody had brought a fruit. Well, I have my rice cakes. Okay. I said, you guys, all I want you to understand is a healthy snack is what you have to look, you have to read, a healthy snack doesn't always have to be a fruit. Okay. A rice cake, you got your fiber. It's low cal. It's low sugar, and you get to eat a whole bag. So it's like your mindset is like healthy snacks when you're quote on your dieting,
right?
Versus I try to say a diet is temporary.
Right.
A diet is got a day one and a day when I said quit, because you usually quit a diet.
Right.
And I go, it can last a week, it can last 4 or 5 years, who knows? But you're going to make an end to that diet, and then you're going to go back to whatever it was that made you have to come to TOPS in the first place. So we went over it and stuff, and after we discussed everything, then I had like a little, like a birthday bag, but it didn't say anything on it. I said, okay, now I need you to put all of your stuff you brought into this bag. Went around and collected everything. And I go, okay, so what we're going to do with this is going to be our Biggest Loser bounty from here on in. And I gave it to the person that we designate as our Biggest Loser from last week, because we're like a week behind. Because our weight recorder doesn't like log in our books. She, you know, it's like keeping the distance. She writes it in her stuff, and then we write it in our own book.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, she doesn't want to handle everybody's stuff. So the Biggest Loser of last week got what everybody brought. So we're going to be doing this, and it's called our Biggest Loser bounty.
Well, we have we do thinner winner, and then we decided when we started, because obviously we have no money to give out free dues. We did the healthy snack, and one week the thinner winner, one person brought in a whole bag of like trail mix snacks, lots of bags. So they share it, but they go home with a lot of healthy snacks. So it works.
Yeah, so that's you know, just it's different because we've never done anything like that.
That's cool. I mean, we're more likely to try something new if somebody else brings in their version of a healthy snack.
Right.
That's how I got onto some of these kashi bars. It's like, those are really good. Of course, I read the ingredients to make sure I can have everything, but it's like, so I bought some kashi bars, and they're really good, especially on the trail, so I don't have to, you know, get my burner out and heat anything up or anything. It's just take it out of the bag, and I can eat while I'm walking. Right. But anything, Stella? Any? No,
think so.
No. So you're back in leeway this week?
Yeah.
Cool. That was my biggest worry, of going too far below goal, because I didn't want a new goal.
I weighed more on my scales at home, so it was a little bit of a shock. I think I'd forgotten there was a difference. It had been so long.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we had somebody come. I mean, her very first weigh-in was the day before we went quarantined. So it's like, yeah. So, but we had a new scale too, because we're a new chapter. So at least we knew from now on we have that one scale. But we're good. But otherwise, I will do the Never Quit pledge. We went back to that last week because we've already rededicated ourselves for the past month or so. So today I promise I will not quit. I pledge that no matter how many ups and downs I pass through, I will continue my journey. I pledge to make a new start today and forgive myself for my past, and to stop being so critical of myself. I pledge to take control of myself, to stop making excuses, and to stop blaming other people or situations. I pledge to treat myself as I would my best friend, because that is who I am. I pledge to stay in the race and to be a winner. And to be that one statement, I pledge to treat myself as I would my best friend. In my grandson is at cyber school, 3rd grade, and what they're doing. The one section is anti-bullying, and that is one statement. All this whole thing, they're approaching it in the anti-bullying section. And I'm like, this is awesome. And they're talking about positive self-talk, how to turn a negative into a positive. And they're teaching it in 3rd grade. This is like awesome. Finally. I mean, when I graduated high school in '81, they never, ever, ever talked about bullying. And it was prevalent. I had a family there's 8 of us. Yeah. Second to the youngest. Oh yeah, I was bullied my entire life. But you know, and hair in my people put gum in my hair on the bus ride. It's like I was bullied my entire life, and finally they're taking it seriously. They're talking about it in the 3rd grade, because that's when bullies are developed, because this is all they're seeing, and this is just great. So the treat yourself as your best friend and talk positive self-talk. It was an eye-opener when I was helping him with that lesson. It's like, kudos to the school system. Finally, But otherwise, we're, well, almost an hour and a half. We took our time talking this week. So you guys have a great day. Hopefully I'll see Stella on Wednesday, and I'll see you next Monday. Talk to you later.
Joanne, Joanne, wait, I have a question.
Sure.
You know the Zoom that they have on Fridays?
No.
There's a Zoom. No, well, you were on it. You asked what time, or there's a Zoom.
They were.
I'm trying to figure out what.
It was Mary Mullane and and they were doing teaching about Zoom.
No, it was Sharon. Her name is Sharon Dines.
Sharon Dines was. I think she does Friday night, Thursday night.
Is it Thursday or Friday?
She does Thursday night. She changed it to Thursday at 8:30 my time.
8:30 your time. Okay, 5:30 my time. Okay.
Yeah, I will send you the link.
Okay, because I can do that one on the way home, driving home.
Okay. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye.
You guys have a good week.
You too.